Hello. And here we are. First rendition of You Haven't Seen Insert Movie Title. Question mark, question mark.
The Amazing Spider-Man. That's the first one.
Why did we watch this today?
Well, I feel like the premise of this podcast is that usually you're the one that's supposed to be humble. But not this first episode. I've offered myself as tribute, and now we're gonna watch a movie that I have not seen before.
I'm glad you brought that up because that is an amazing topic because it's wild that this podcast was created out of like my lack of film knowledge, but the first episode that we're doing is a movie you haven't seen.
I know, but I feel like a lot of the films that I've seen are like ones that aren't like popular when I was growing up. They're like older than that. Whereas like a lot of the movies that you reference are ones that are like popular when you were growing up. So it makes sense that you've seen them. I just like never went to theaters growing up as a kid. So like I wouldn't have seen them probably.
What'd you think?
Okay, we're just gonna jump right in. All right. Oh wait, how should we start this off? Like why did we decide to watch this? Because obviously it's popular. We want views. So
honestly, I feel like I've dealt with the Andrew Garfield slander for so long that finally that he's getting his accolades, I could rewatch this and be like, he was the best Spider-Man after all this time. Like, that's my
big
opinion.
Claims.
Literally, and people are talking about the writing and everything. Man,
I really think that you would like Twilight New Moon because this is. No, actually, I really did enjoy it. It's like a way different version of Spider-Man, and like, because I've only seen the Tom Holland ones, and I've only like heard about the Spider-Man. I've never seen the Tobey one either. So, I don't know. It was a lot different than I was expecting. So, wait, why did you want to watch this movie? Because, why do you want to watch it? Why is this the first movie of the podcast?
Honestly, it was either gonna be this one or Tobey Maguire is like the first ever Spider-Man.
Yeah, because you suggested that, but I was really hoping we were going to see this one because I was like, I don't want to see Tobey's.
How come?
Because I don't know, because I saw that TikTok. We'll insert the person here. And I was like, okay, maybe I would like the Andrew one because I really do like that like Twilight era type film and stuff. Like there's something about it that I don't know, I like it.
I think that the differences between the way the Tobey Maguire, Andrew Garfield, and Tom Holland Spider-Man movies approach showing Peter Parker shirtless. I'm serious. I think that it says a ton about the approach that those filmmakers were taking towards the character and the narrative, and just like it's a pretty good way to sum up how they're different.
She's looking at the Spider-Man through the like all of their shirtless scenes, essentially. And so, like, the Tobey one is, like, you're looking at it as if you were him and, like, how you've, like, gained these powers or whatever. And the Andrew one is, like, through, like, a romantic, like, sexualized kind of view, like in the Twilight kind of era, like teen, like, rom-com kind of, I guess not rom-com, but, like, that type of vibe. And, like, the Tom Holland one is almost, like, nostalgic in a way. And, like, I can definitely see that, because I feel like after Stranger Things and stuff, like, there's a lot of nostalgic stuff that's been coming back, and I definitely see that, compared to this one for sure, in that Spider-Man.
Yeah, definitely. Definitely. Maybe that's why I enjoyed this one so much, because it was so angsty teen, and so, like, heavily romantic.
Yeah.
In a time where I was, like, really in a vulnerable place.
A romantically vulnerable place.
So check it out. I wasn't able to relate to Tobey Maguire growing up, right? But then even like Andrew Garfield, like I wasn't able to relate with him 100% because he to me is like 20 something in this. Like,
well, he is.
He's old. Like
yeah.
You can tell he's old. And then now watching the Tom Holland, like the new ones, I can't relate to him because he is like super young. Like to me, he like comes off as super young.
Even though, get this, all of them are older than you.
Wild.
Isn't that crazy?
Thank God we're still moving on the way up. Still have time.
I could be the next Spider-Man.
Ooh.
Yeah,
they
I don't
come
know.
out with the Mexican Filipino edition of Spider-Man.
You have to play like Gwen or whatever Zendaya's character is.
Oh.
It should be a girl next time. There's way too many guys Spider-Man. Okay, but is this the best? What's the best Spider-Man movie in your opinion?
The best Spider-Man movie is the one that comes directly after this one, Amazing Spider-Man 2. Hands down, the best Spider-Man movie.
And we'll give like spoiler alert, by the way. I feel like we should do that before we like start talking about spoilers if we do.
Oh yeah, for sure, spoiler.
Not that you're going to.
If you haven't seen the Amazing well
you're already getting into it. I was like, okay.
Yeah, you should probably watch it now.
Would you say that what's the other one that I really like with the Sunflower song that I hate? That's a Spider-Man movie. Yeah, I feel like that's still the best one in my opinion. Although, and I don't like cartoons, but wild. I fucking love that movie.
That's wild.
Yeah, I really like that one. I don't know. There's something about it. Like, I think this one, like...
Also, Into the Spider-Verse? That's
Into
what
the
we're talking
Spider-Verse.
about.
But I hate the Sunflower song. But yeah, I think that's still my favorite one. I don't know why, but I think there's something about it that's, like, with, like, stories like this, and, like, I feel like there is something with cartoons, and especially the style they did with that one, that you really can get across, like, more emotionally than doing live action. Because with this one, I definitely like this one a lot more than like the Tom Holland ones, for instance, because for some reason I like them while I'm watching them, but as soon as like I'm out of the theater, like there's like a hollow feeling, and it's almost like, I don't know, I know that a lot happened and I know that I should be feeling something, but I really don't. And I don't know why. So I definitely felt like something more with this, and I feel like if I were in a theater, I would probably feel it more. I'd be like, oh yeah, that kind of stayed with me more.
Can we talk about like how, yeah, like you really feel like he's like an actual like real human being?
Yeah.
Like this feels like so real. This is like as like American realism as Spider-Man can get. We were watching this one and you were like, man, this is like really dark. If this is dark, the Tobey Maguire Spider-Man is literally like freaking
really?
So much darker. Oh my! But you have to see like the full. You don't have to see the full trilogy, but like already from the get, like it's so much darker.
Okay.
What are your thoughts on? I didn't realize like the absence of Uncle Ben in the new like Tom Holland ones. But like, what's your thoughts on Uncle Ben?
Okay, spoiler alert. Yeah, I honestly, Uncle Ben like does not resonate in this one. Like he's just not in there enough. And I get that there's like all these daddy issues that Spider-Man has in this one, but I don't know. Like none of the men were there for him in his life, so like that's literally the whole movie is him and his daddy issues.
I completely forgot about like the whole like his father abandoning him and like all that. Like, dang, there's so many layers to like the build up that like I feel like I've missed with the Tom Holland ones. Like I feel like I'm trashing Tom Holland's Spider-Man so much.
Yeah, we're just
like,
comparing it to that one.
But it's crazy, like just old heads.
No, I mean I think that you're right because like so he has Aunt May, and that's a really important person in the Tom Holland ones, but I don't think we really understand how important it is. We don't know anything about like, you know, Uncle Ben didn't even exist there, I don't think. Did he? I don't know. Like his parents aren't even in the picture. It's literally just Aunt May. And it's like, yeah, you could live with like a single mom or whatever. So it's like not that. I feel like they really don't drill that into the audience in that one.
Man, this movie shaped my fanboy for both Andrew Garfield and even more so Emma Stone.
Whoa.
I literally remember watching this movie and being like,
tell me you're a teacher's pet with them. Okay. Well, because one thing I was saying throughout this whole movie is like her costume, she's literally dressed as a teacher, and I know the clothes from this like era are not great, but like that was another level. Like she did not need all those like little sweater jacket things and like the headband that like just somehow went into her head. You didn't ever see the ends of it or anything. It was just like
every scene. I like watching it now. I'm like, man, they single-handedly, dual-handedly like made Amazing Spider-Man 1 and Amazing Spider-Man 2. Like just their chemistry alone, I'm not gonna lie. Even though it was like really like almost too much at some points to me, I was like, what?
Like he literally like lassoed her fucking ass and pulled her over.
I was like, jeez Louise. From the get-go, the beginning of the movie, they were already like, I was like, dang.
He has her like photo and is all creepy about it. Wow. Okay, well, what points do we have to talk about?
Yeah, what do we have?
Let me write some in the notes, because like I said,
Dang.
I was taking notes.
Oh my god,
This
I
is
got
more
like 5
because like
things down.
this is more because like I didn't want to forget about like some of the plot points. So not all of these are like actual notes. But I do have to say like I really liked the score in this. Like the music for this is really nice. It has like a really like whimsical vibe, but it's still kind of, I think compared to like the movie, because it is like pretty dark, at least like visually. I think I really like the whimsical sound of like the soundtrack, whatever.
Yeah, definitely. I Shazammed one of the songs for sure. It was by Coldplay.
Okay, no, like I was talking about like the actual like score, like whoever did this, but yeah, that too.
Yeah, the score was cool too. But I Shazammed a Coldplay song, and that's gonna be on repeat. What did you think about the length of this movie? Did it feel long to you?
No, it actually did not feel long at all to me. I actually did really enjoy this.
I feel like there wasn't, like, this movie's relatively long, but there wasn't a lot of fluff. Like, every second was like something epic. Like, remember when the kid was like stuck in the car and it was on fire and it was like hanging off the bridge and about to get into the water, and homie was like, "Oh, here, take the mask, put it on, it'll give you strength." Oh my
so
goodness.
extra.
Oh, that's so deep.
He had to be a dad.
Oh yeah. Oh
So
my
serious.
god. Literally.
He's being everyone who doesn't have a dad's dad. Okay, let me look at the rest of my notes. I'm only on Curtis Connor, so I'm only on 4 right now.
Sweet.
Okay, why the fuck did he go into that spider cage? What the fuck?
There was a lot
made
of
him go in there. There was like, there's no way you couldn't see them. That was so dumb.
There was way more spiders than I remember there ever being.
The amount of spiders in this movie was like, you need a trigger warning, honestly, because like there was way too many, and then they were showing like, oh, this is what happens if you get bit. Like, I don't need to know that. Like, why?
Close-ups on all the results.
Yeah, like that was graphic. That's why I'm saying this is dark, because like they would never show that in the new Spider-Man, even though like Tony's dying and.
You could just tell, oh, it's gonna sound so filmy and so technical, but like every lighting setup was just like one harsh and then one like just deep shadow on the other side.
So dramatic. I fucking love that.
Literally, like even if it didn't have to be so like,
no,
they don't shoot flat at all. Like everything was so deep and
this
intense.
Is the scene with a little boy.
Oh,
yeah, with this.
Freaking loved it.
And he's like,
He's like, oh, homie didn't make it yet.
That was so good. Okay, whatever. Let's see. Oh yeah, Kurt Connors and his fucking fake arm. That was funny. That was really funny.
To the new one?
You could see that he was just hiding his arm in his backward part of it.
He literally got up out of a cut. I don't know.
No, you saw it.
Yeah, and like you could like see, like it wasn't his hand, but you could like see like,
see, like,
up
the,
to here.
yeah.
And I was like, that's funny.
I wonder, like, I know that some actors that have to do that, like, what else? The basketball court scene. You know, that's the one thing I like about this movie is, like, all the scenes that they have, like, the bathroom one, like, the train one, the basketball court scene, like, where he's first using his, like, powers. I don't know. They're, like, really cool.
Yeah. I will say, though, on that topic, like, you haven't seen the first one yet, and I'm sure we're going to get there eventually. The amount of time he spends, I guess that counts as, like, discovering his powers. But to me, like, I feel like he has, like, some control of it already in those moments. But when he, like, compared to the other ones, or at least compared to Tobey Maguire's, like, he doesn't spend, like, a lot of time, like, discovering his powers. Like, Tobey Maguire, like, it's a whole segment of, like, him trying to, like, what is happening? Like, trying to figure out stuff.
Yeah.
It's, like, a really big part of it.
I don't know. It's, like, one of those things where I feel like most people know who Spider-Man is, and so it's, like, everybody already knows what his powers are, you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
So it makes sense that they don't spend as much time, but I do remember the Tom Holland one. I think, like, that is a big part of the first movie is, like, him learning about all that.
I will say it's so cool how, like, they did it in this, because this one just seems a lot more grunge and angst, but even the way he, like, was discovering his powers, like, in, like, the skate park and, like, swinging from chains and stuff, like, so cool.
Yeah,
like,
he literally is such a cool guy. Like, the other one, he's such a, like, nobody pays attention to him at all, and, like, even from the beginning, he was a cool guy, so it's like, good for you, I guess. You don't get to become cool, you're already cool. Like, he was already, like, in the very beginning before he even had those powers.
Yeah, but he wasn't, like He was still bullied and stuff. But I was like, man, this is a dope dude. Like,
He
he's
didn't
super
get
smart.
bullied like the other one, though. Like, he
Who's
wasn't
the other
bullied
one?
like the other ones. Like, Tom Holland's one.
Mm.
That's the only one I have to compare.
I literally need to rewatch the first one because I'm like, man, I don't remember any of that beginning stuff, man.
Honestly, those ones are way more nostalgic, and I think that, like, the relationship that he has with his friend Ned is, like, I like that. But, like, it's, you know what I mean? I don't know. It's, like, way stronger there. He doesn't have a Ned, though, in his life. So.
Yeah. He's alone.
Yeah.
It's just him. No father figure, not even Uncle Ben.
No, he fucking has his aunt, and he also has Gwen. Like, he has people. He's acting like he doesn't just because he doesn't have a male figure in his life.
Well, homie has a hard life, though. Oh, man, this movie's so good.
Okay, let's see. Yeah, then my next thing was flirting, because the amount of, like, scenes that these two had together, which weren't even that many, but, like, every single one was like, what are they doing?
On 10, like, 100% going in.
So, do you remember Ginny and Georgia? Do you remember when I made you and Kira, like, watch, like,
Oh
I was
my
telling you guys about this and how, like, the first episode
Oh
was, like,
my
fucking
God.
crazy? I'm pretty sure they watched this movie, because, like, he literally does climb into the window, like, out of nowhere. And, like, it makes sense for Spider-Man. It's still, at the same time, it's still fucking creepy. But yeah, I'm pretty sure that's where Ginny and Georgia got their inspo, because, like, the way that first episode moves is fucking fast.
For sure. But
They
Ginny
didn't
and
have
Georgia,
sex in this one, though.
Ginny and Georgia
Close.
did not execute it the way, like this. I was like, man, I could get behind him doing that. You know, it's
I mean,
New
it makes
York.
sense for him,
It's
yeah.
so it's like kind of badass there, and like it's not like he's some creepo to her at least. To her at least.
He fucking zoomed in on her school photo and had it on his fucking computer. I don't know what's creepy about that.
Apparently, Gwen Stacy enjoyed that.
Yeah, well, she obviously already liked him, so.
Yeah. So I was like, man, it's cool. But Ginny and Georgia, yeah. I was like, oh, this is uncomfortable. And then
Yeah,
her
'cause,
letting
like,
him in. Oh, no,
anytime
please,
that,
goodness.
like one of these guys, like, comes through a window, it's always fucking weird. This one wasn't as weird, so. But that is because he's, like, a Spider-Man, so. Oh, yes. When he designs his costume, what did you think of that?
I was like, man, this man can do everything. Freaking fashion design, clothes designer, and skateboarder, extremely smart, like.
But I just want to see, like, I really need more of a film, one of these films, like, dedicated to them making their fucking suit, because what is that material, and where would they have ever gotten it? Like, I've never seen material like that except for, like, what Spider-Man and Deadpool wear. I need more info about that.
For sure. I mean, I can't promise nothing. I'm going to be referencing this one a lot, but Tobey Maguire's, they take their time with things. They, like, leave, from what I remember, they leave no
Toby
questions.
Now. You see Toby.
For sure.
Okay, this is one little nitpicky moment, but after they make out on the rooftop after the family dinner, and, like, did she know that he was Spider-Man at that point? Because he just jumps off the roof. He never tells her. He just jumps off the roof. Like, she wasn't like, what the fuck, what are you doing? She was like, oh, that's cool.
What? Oh, no, for sure. When she gets webbed or whatever?
She didn't see the fucking web. The way she was webbed was like, ass. They were kissing right away. She didn't even see it.
She felt it.
The amount of times they're touching each other's faces is like, okay.
Literally every
Please
moment was
stop
like
transferring germs.
life or death, like romance, like every moment.
For him. For her, she's just like, yeah, my daddy's a co-op. Eating my, what is it called? Broche? Bruche? I don't know.
But that fish
Full
looked
fish.
undercooked.
Oh my gosh. But the most heartwarming part of this was when the crane op, the daddy that Spider-Man saved his son, when he called all the other, like, crane ops together and they, like, did that so he could, like, swing. That was probably my favorite part.
Yeah, that was like, and he made a passageway and like, let's make this as easy as possible, and like everyone's like on his side now.
Long clip.
You know what the I wouldn't say issue, but you know what it is? We haven't not agreed on something this whole time.
Whoa.
Which is the reason we cause
Is that the reason? That's the reason?
There's a reason I thought this was gonna be real easy, because we usually don't agree on a lot of things, but this movie was amazing, though.
I have to fucking disagree with you. I don't know what we don't agree on, other than the fact that I say something and you word it a different way and act like we're disagreeing. Sometimes I think you go out of your way to make sure that we're disagreeing.
No, Kira's saying yes. Hell no. Also, I'm not pointing at. This is Kessie. I don't know why.
So there's the disagreement.
You know what we are disagreeing on though? Uncle Ben versus Tony Stark.
All right.
Literally.
All right, go for it.
Literally, I could like.
But wait, this Uncle Ben, this one here, the Andrew Garfield Uncle Ben.
I honestly don't even remember, but I feel like he's the same actor from the first one. Maybe I'm tripping. He's the one I always think of when I think of Uncle Ben, so I don't know. But yeah, this Uncle Ben.
Really? So in this movie, if you had not seen the Toby one, because Uncle Ben in that one is a big role, right? He's in a couple movies, I'm pretty for sure. This guy is in a fucking third of the movie. Why am I going to feel anything for him at all when he's like literally told Peter nothing about his dad? He could have told him something. He's like, yeah, your dad's missing and I'm your new dad. But why do you like him?
I empathize with him because I don't know if he even knows where Peter's dad went.
He knew more than he was saying, for sure.
I feel like he wasn't like hiding anything from him though. The bag might be a little bit.
I'm waiting for you to make your points.
All right, here we go. Uncle Ben, like I feel like I could empathize with way more than some billionaire random dude who's super arrogant, yada yada. Like to have, I guess, as a father figure to Peter Parker, like Uncle Ben, way more grounded and I guess realistic, and I wouldn't say more fun. Like Tony Stark is way more fun, but is he better? In my opinion, not really. I don't
really like that this is your point of like conflict between us, because like
I'm not gonna
weak.
When Tony Stark dies, like it's
Aunt
like
May,
oh my okay.
Like if Aunt May had died in this film after everything that she had been there through, I would be sad. I feel like the way that they let up, spoiler alert, Aunt May's death in the other Spider-Man movies was horrible because like she really did have a big role in that series. You know what I mean? Like way bigger than Tony. Like she was just always there and like a good parental figure for Tom Holland's Spider-Man. But like the way that they like killed her off was like so uneventful and like so like anticlimactic. Like that should have been like the end of the movie. Like why did we have to get to this like happy or like moment? Like it was like, that's the one thing I do like about this is that it leans into the darkness of it, you know?
Literally. Like, if we wanted to get into the writing aspect of it, because people are bashing on the Andrew Garfield's writing, we are not about to get into that because we will be talking for another at least hour and a half. Because the writing in these new Spider-Man.
Yeah, it's just like that very like formula kind of thing that you see with a lot of the superhero films, and it's just like it doesn't have the heart that you, because like there's a lot of things you can feel for him because he's just a kid and like all these things, but like he wants to go to school and he knows a big magic man that can like help him, you know. It's like, I don't know, like yeah, you have to work for it, but at the same time it's like, I don't know, I feel like his tragedies in the other one are not highlighted enough. But Tony Stark is better for sure. Reasoning is this, because we don't know Uncle Ben in that show at all. Like, Uncle Ben's not even a part. He didn't even know who Uncle Ben was, I don't think. Like, when all the Spider-Men came together, he was like, Uncle Ben, who the fuck is that? And, like, so Tony, like, is his kind of, like, parental figure. And also the way we're introduced to Spider-Man and, like, the whole MCU is, you know, we've known Tony since the very beginning because he's been there forever. But he's, like, thrown in Civil War, and, like, that's, like, the guy that takes, you know, Spider-Man under his wing. And so Spider-Man, like, being like this rookie and this kid, like, you know, it's like the one person that's like, I don't know, like, I'm gonna help you out, that type of thing. So it makes sense that Tony is a way more important role than Uncle Ben.
You're telling me that when Tony Stark died, you felt more than when Uncle Ben died in here?
I hope you're fucking joking. I really fucking do. Because you're not about to tell me that, like, 12 fucking years of existing as Tony Stark isn't equal to more? Is it more than Uncle Ben, who's been on screen for, like, 30 minutes? What?
Literally, don't get me wrong, I was like, damn, like, he died?
Are you
But, like, I wasn't, like,
serious?
like, it wasn't, like, a part
you.
of my heart, like, for real. Like, it wasn't like, oh, like, feel like I lost a family member. When Uncle Ben dies, it's like, dang, like I feel like I lost my legit uncle. Like, he was just trying to put good, like, morals and, like,
See,
actually,
I hate people like that. I fucking hate people like that. And the thing is, because those people don't exist. There's nobody that's ever going to go chase after you. Like, there's nobody like that. So I don't believe him at all, for one. I've never heard of that shit in my life. A person that runs after you, they're not real. Okay? Tony, on the other hand, is real because he's fucking honest. And yeah, he's definitely a scumbag, but at the same time, like, he has, like, a soft spot in his heart for a lot of these other characters, and you know him as a character. So, yeah, he's way more important.
I feel like I'm mixing my feelings of Uncle Ben with the first series, I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah, because he's, like, barely in this one.
Yeah. I don't have it with fresh eyes. I'm, like, literally like, wow, Uncle Ben. It's just crazy. It's so cool to see Uncle Ben again, because he's so big in the Spider-Man story. I can't believe they don't have him in the new one. Me trashing on this. I need to say 3 things I like about the new one. I've been trashing on it all day. Man, the new one is, the tech is cool.
And guess who gave that to him?
Yeah, the person who gave it wasn't that cool, but the tech.
Can you just tell me that the first Iron Man movie isn't, like, one of the best superhero movies you've ever seen?
No, it is.
That's what I'm... Why are you fucking acting like he didn't have a whole ass, like, trillion movies before he fucking died? Like, we didn't get... What?
No, he's cool. Like, don't get me wrong, he's cool, and I was like, damn, he died. But Uncle Ben is, like, literally feels like a father figure to me.
Wow.
Whereas, like, Tony Stark just seems like a really cool, badass person, which, like, yeah. To me, I feel like by the time he died, he lived a pretty full life. Uncle Ben still had way more to give.
I think the Uncle Ben, if I remember, like, I haven't seen it, but I think the one in the Tobey movie is pretty fucking old. He's pretty old, if I remember, but it's so funny to see the behind the scenes now. It looks so anticlimactic.
Can we talk about...
His juicy.
What you doing out here with all this ass?
That
Boy.
shot where he
Boy.
fucking falls. This is really funny.
They knew what they were doing. They had to have. Like, it was too obvious. Like,
Honestly, it's surprising. Like,
I would never think.
no.
But, man, he has what a lot of people want.
Yeah. The cinematography in this one, it is, like you were saying, like, it's very, like, contrasty and everything with, like, the lighting, but, like, I really like that type of style, so I like that they really went, like, really stylistic with it. And I know this probably fit in during the time period and wasn't, like, that different, because they also were doing, like, The Dark Knight and stuff like that, and those movies were a lot darker, but, yeah. There's a lot of, like, really nice shots and stuff that were like, okay, that's cool.
If they make The Amazing Spider-Man 3, you think they would, like, lean into this or, like, probably go with the times more?
I really hope so. But I don't know, because seeing the stuff from the second one already looks different. Look, it looks way different, like... Because this one, like, to me, honestly, wasn't... Like, it was, like, cheesy, but not, like... I don't know. But the next one looks pretty cheesy, I'm gonna say.
The next
Jamie
one...
Foxx looks a little cheesy.
The greatest Spider-Man movie to ever release.
What about you, cinematically? What do you think of it?
Man, I would be so upset. I don't think they... I don't know how much control, like, Disney has over it, but I don't think they would let it fly. Like, they would never release something like this right now.
Well, Disney doesn't.
They
doesn't.
They don't have
the
like,
right.
have?
They don't have the rights to Spider-Man. They're basically, like, renting the Tom Holland Spider-Man from Sony, and that's why people are like, I don't know if there's gonna be another Spider-Man with Tom Holland, because, like, the whole Sony, like, renting him to Marvel is, like, ending. This was his last movie.
Wow.
Yeah, so I could see, like, Sony leaning into doing another one like that. And actually, I Googled it, and, like, there's so many, like, news articles about, like, them petitioning and stuff to, like, get a new one. And it probably will be greenlit.
Oh, new Amazing Spider-Man?
Yeah.
There's too many people who want it, I think. Like, and they're making it very vocal, which is so cool. Like, finally. Like,
yeah, like, that would be so cool. And then, like, I mean, I don't know, because also, like, Deadpool and stuff's now owned by Disney. But that would be sick if they had a because I could see this Spider-Man with Deadpool. You know what I mean? And that's, like, a huge thing in the comic books that I've not read, I just know about. That, like, they, you know, they hang out a lot.
do they?
Yeah. That could
know
be the
too much
next
about
love
that.
story because that's the first. That could be the first gay love story. I would definitely watch that.
Yeah.
Did you know that Deadpool's asexual? Also, SpongeBob is too. So whenever we watch that, just keep that in your mind.
Is that the next episode? Back to back?
No, it's my movie next. Talk about the acting.
20 out of 10. Oh. I enjoyed it thoroughly.
Yeah, no, it was really good. I was,
Hope you're just not about it
this
at
whole time,
all.
I'm fucking thinking about him wearing long sleeves, and then I was like, and I was like, he's so like emo, like he has like he's cut out like the little holes for his thumbs. I'm like, no, because that makes sense, because he rips it off and he's in his Spider-Man outfit. That makes sense. Like Tom Holland always has to jump into his because he's wearing short sleeves. But this bitch knows what's going on. That's why he's always wearing long sleeves so he can hide his suit. Like he's always ready. Good thinking.
It's so like, yeah, it really is just super teen angst and like romance, but I wouldn't say like romantic rom-com thing. Like it's just dark and like,
No, it's not really that funny. I mean, there's some moments, but
yeah,
it's good.
yeah. Is that it?
That's it. We have to rate it though. What are we saying? Like, what's our rating scale?
What are we doing? Multiple categories or just like an overall out of 10?
I don't know. There's so many ways to go for it.
This is like the pilot episode. You know how pilot episodes are.
Oh yeah, it's gonna be rough a couple episodes.
Yeah.
So just give us a break.
Yeah.
I think that maybe we should. I mean, it makes sense to rate it according to its genre. You know?
Uh-huh. According to genre?
Yeah.
Or like just in general?
Like a genre. Like the superhero movies. Like it would be in that.
It's literally like right next to like Iron Man for like best superhero movies ever made.
Whoa.
At least top 5. Like I can't name anything.
Yeah, it's definitely the best Spider-Man movie that I've seen. And as far as like superhero movies, it's definitely up there.
That's so crazy to hear. That's so sick. I'm so glad you like.
I mean, I don't know. Like, there's honestly nothing I would change about it. And I did really enjoy it. And I enjoyed all the fight scenes. And, like, so I would give it a 10 for sure.
Damn.
10 stars.
Damn, first movie. That's insane. I wonder if SpongeBob's going to get the same reaction. I'm bouncing between 9 and 9.5.
You and Kira, I swear to God, you both just can't be happy. Like, give it a 10. Whenever we rate things, she's always gonna be like, well, I'm gonna give it like, I would be like, that's a 4. She's like, yeah, it's a 3.75. Why are we doing half?
I think, because, well, can they both be 10? I guess I'll give it a 10.
Yeah, we can do the same rating. We don't have to disagree.
No, like both the movies, because if it were to get better, it does.
I honestly am skeptical about that for the reason that I've seen the reviews on that one and I've seen what the characters look like and I don't know about that. I'm sure the end pays off though.
Cause this is, I don't know, spoilers, whatever. This is a 9.5. The next one's a 10. But they can both be 10s.
All right, 9.5.
Final answer 9.5. 9.5.
Guys, we're doing half numbers too. Might as well went to 20. All right.
Well,
at least you're animating the stars, not me.
Oh, there's animations and stars too?
You gotta put the stars in. They gotta see it.
Man, we'll figure out this star situation.
Every week it'll get more challenging.
Well, this was the first rendition. I think, honestly, I don't see how we could have started it any better. It was a very enjoyable experience. And I feel like there was a lot to talk about in comparison with the times. Yeah,
I'll definitely pick a more like controversial film next time so we have more debate and we can actually disagree.
Yeah, it was funny going into this because I thought this was going to be a controversial one because a lot of people didn't like Andrew Garfield's
I think I will just put this out here as the first episode. I do think that I am pretty open to a lot of different genres, not saying that you're not, but I have observed this in some of the films that Kira and I enjoy, and you're like, oh, that's okay, that you are not as much. And so maybe there will be more of that because I like a lot of different types of movies and a lot of different ways of showing them.
Yeah, when I don't like a movie, I don't like there's no, like I could pick out some good stuff, but I generally don't take my time to. I know like you more than me do.
Yeah, because
Like,
there's a lot
like-
of things that you can learn from them.
Yeah, for sure. To me, I'm like, man, like Ant-Man versus the Wasp.
No, that's horrible. I hated that movie. So next week we will be watching Dirty Dancing, which is my have you seen that?
Wow, is that
Have you seen
is that big enough to? Why do you want to watch that?
Have you seen it?
No,
What do you mean is it big enough?
I haven't. I know what it is, but is it like up there like with like?
I thought this point of this podcast was show you the different movies you haven't seen.
And with that,
Okay. We'll cut.
all right.